Time to play my favorite book again. Mrs. Dushino Vololo has a pretty good job. What? Hentai game developer?
Done.
But like a real one. Hentai game tester. I don't know. Blowjob. You're doing blowjobs. Well, I guess if it brings in the money. This isn't part-time or something. Wait, is he not? Wait, does Fulano have a new job? Just a real job, not like Mizuz. Bro, what do you mean? What do you mean? Every streamer says dude, streaming is harder than a 9-to-5 job. Every streamer says of how much of a burden the job as a streamer is. It's so stressful, you know? People say can't take them serious, man. Dude, it's so funny how so many like bigger streamers say like, oh yeah, streaming is much harder than a 9-to-5 job. Like, what? Excuse me, what are you saying? Like, holy shit, dude. I have a new job since I broke up. Wait, I thought you were still looking for one. I thought you were still looking for one, Wololo. How is that? You see a harmonium officer. He gives you a bored look as you approach. Greetings. He gives you a bored look. Greetings, citizen. Measure 3 Wharton at your service. He sighs. I don't mean to be rude, but I am only on duty and I have no time for questions. He pauses. If you like to information to go to App Creekness. Ass grabber, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Hi, welcome. Just have no money because I pay 1,000 for my flat with Jesus Christ. How's it going? Ah, it's going well. We just finished our our session with Fable 2, and now we're gonna basically end the stream with Planescape. My favorite book to play. Can't say it often enough, it's my favorite book to play. I'm looking for a remote DB management job currently. Well, if you can get one, that would be great, right? DBs are good. You see a middle-aged man wearing dusty clothes. He does not appear to be in the best of health. His skin is pale yellow and you see an occasional pustule along his arms. Greetings. He turns and glances at you from behind your hollow eyes. His eyes narrow in suspicion as he continues to glance around. What do you want? His voice is raspy. Some questions. He turns his attention to you. Why are you bothering me for? I look the part of a tout. You're available. He looks at you and snorts, lucky me. No again, I don't got the time for this. Okay.
Done.
People are just assholes. You see an older man in elegant robes. He has bright eyes and a warm smile. He gives you a slight bow as you approach. Good day, cutter. I am Sebastian. Now, may I serve you? Okay, greetings to you as well, cutter. He stops in mid-sentence as he notices your scars. You see his eyes travel along them, and his eyebrows arch in surprise. He returns his gaze to you. I was about to ask what I could do for you, but there is no need. I think I see why you came to see me, cutter. What are you trying to say? He smiles at you and shrugs his shoulders. Perhaps, cutter, perhaps He leans forward and begins to examine your scars carefully. He runs a finger along several of them, mumbling to himself. Finally, he looks up at you. Yes, Kata, I can help you. I cannot cure you, but I can alleviate the worst of your condition. 2000 GPU to play indie pixel games? Let's go deprime! Wait, are you actually getting the new GPUs? Are you actually getting them? And your price? Ah yes, the price. He begins stroking his chin and stares at you. You get the impression you are being weighed somehow. He seems to come to some sort of a decision. I have a job that I think you could perform. Don't buy fucking... Isn't the 5070 as good as the 4090? Like, holy shit. Go on. I have signed a contract with a certain creature. I am no longer able to fulfill the contract. It is beyond my abilities. However, the creature will not release me from the contract. Instead, it has threatened me with death unless I fulfill the contract. Let me guess, you want me to solve this problem for you? He sighs. Yes, I cannot do it myself. My reputation demands that I fulfill the contract or face the consequences. I am at your mercy in this regard. Will you help me? What kind of creature are we talking about? An Abishai named Grusuk Kata. He pauses to gauge your reaction. I know this is a difficult task, but one I think you can handle. Also, the reward I offer you is great. He gestures at your scars. Wait, the 4090 is the same. It's the 5070. The 5070 is as good as the 4090. What were you contracted to do? He shakes his hand. I cannot reveal that information, Cutter. I am magically bound not to. That is why people come to me. They know that if I accept a contract, it will be handled with discretion. What kind of creature are we talking about? I see. An interesting proposal. He looks at you hopefully. Will you do it, Cutter? Yes, give me the details.
My journal.
He smiles at you and gives a sigh of relief. Thank you, Cutter. The creature is an Abishai named Grusuk. You will need a magic weapon to cause it any harm, so check with some of the shops if you do not own one. A spellcaster can harm it as well. Grusuk can be found to the east beyond the siege tower. The siege tower? Yes, over beyond the market. Damn thing just appeared one day, several years back. No one knows why, and no one seems able to get inside to find out. I see. Okay. Xanthia? You see a pretty young woman in fine clothes. Her skin lacks the usual yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She appears to be watching 3 nearby creatures with interest. Greetings. She turns face to you and an annoyed look crosses her face. Yes. What do you want? I have some questions. Fine. She looks irritated. Who are you? My name is Xanthia. She looks you up and down, then frowns. Is there something else you want? What are you doing? There's going to be a fight and I want to see it. She smiles wickedly. It should be interesting. A fight? Yes. See the 3 Thokola over there? She points to 3 hulking creatures with rippling muscles. They're going to try to kill an Abishai. She snorts. The stupid oafs. I heard of something called an Abishai. What exactly is it? It's a lower plains creature. A Batizu, I think. She frowns in thought. In any case, Abishai have nasty dispositions, sharp claws, and can cast spells. Very formidable. The Thokola look like they can take care of themselves. Normally I would say yes, Thokola are very powerful warriors. She smiles slyly and leans in to whisper to you. However, I know something they don't. And what is that? Abishai can only be hurt by magic. She snickers. The Thokola will be slaughtered. I have no doubt of it. She straightens up and watches the Thokola eagerly. How do you know they can only be hurt by magic? She gives you an annoyed look. My husband is very high up in the Harmonium. The Harmonium guards are trained to deal with creatures such as Abishai. She looks away. That's how I know. My husband told me. And why don't you want a Thokola? Why should I do that? She smiles evilly. I'm the one who suggested the fight. Why is that? My husband tries to better his social standing with his underlings by drinking with them in the local taverns. Last evening, he forced me to just such an occasion. Those three oafs were there boasting of their prowess as warriors. It was obvious they were in a drunken stupor. When they decided to leave, one of them tripped and fell into the table I was sitting at. She pauses. Go on. She frowns angrily. Most of the drinks at the table spilled into my lap and ruined a very expensive evening gown. So while the cretin was trying to apologize, I whispered to him that I only accepted the apology of a warrior of stature. If he were truly such a warrior, he would be able to defeat an Abishai in hand-to-hand combat. You're going to get them killed because they ruined the dress?
My journal.
You obviously do not understand the intricacies behind the situation. She looks at you while you like you an idiot child. I was embarrassed and humiliated in front of my husband and his underlings. She looks angry. I see. Okay.
I'm gone.
Oh, let's warn them. Fucking bitch. This creature is huge, standing over 9 feet tall. Rippling muscles support its massive frame. As you approach, he leers at you and laughs. Greetings. He looks down at you and gives you a friendly smile. What do you want, Smolly? I have some questions. I've talked to Cynthia. She said you're going to fight an Abishai. He smiles and nods at you enthusiastically. That's right. Thorpe and friends, Barsh. I have learned that Abishai can only be hurt by magic weapons.
My journal.
He gives you a worried look. Need magic? How you know? I have talked to Cynthia. He seems confused at first, then a look of realization appears on his face. Cynthia play Thorpe for Connie. She lie. Try get Thorpe and friends dead. I'm afraid so. He nods. Cynthia not deserve apology. Thorpe free from debt to her. Yes, you're free. Thorpe, thank you. You save life. You save life of friends. He turns to the other Thokola and speaks to them hurriedly. After a moment, all three bow to you and each hand you a pouch of coin. Nice, thank you. He smiles. Good friend, you deserve 600 gold. Or copper.
You know, I've learned some new tricks.
And she got a level up. Nice. She's level 5 now. Okay, we're all like level 5.
Done.
Get fucked, Cynthia. You see, Cynthia gives you a look. She gives you a look filled with hatred, or filled with hatred. You want the brute, didn't you? Yes, I did what was felt right. She nods her head slowly. I will not forget this insult. Good day to you. She turns and leaves. Aww. Oh, who's a salty bitch? Yes, you are a salty bitch.
Done.
This woman has a yellow cast to her skin and severe features. Tattoos cover her body and she wears a long blade at her side. Her eyes are like two small black pearls. As you approach her, they follow Dakon's movements. Before you reach her, Dakon's breaks in. I would have you hear me. What is it? It is my will that we not speak to this woman. And why not? She is a Zerth. Our wills are crossed blades. We have no common ground. Your wish has been noted. We will speak to her anyway. Very well, then we will do not. You have my gratitude.
I'm gone.
And I was also to contact some service to the internet, but for some security stuff I would have to set up a subnet with managed switch and the DevOps hassle. I'm too baka for those switches, are too expensive. You too baka? What do you mean you too baka? You can be too baka, I thought you can only be too horny, Bololo. You see a florid, boisterous man. He's shouting and carrying on like there's a war that's about to come through. Like he's got something lodged in his intestines. Like, well, like he's too excited about something to talk in a normal tone of voice. His rapid-fire delivery makes it difficult to understand him. You, sir, you there. You look like you could use something. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but give me time, and I'll have it figured out on the spot. You need rooms? I've got rooms. You need supplies? I've got supplies. What are you selling? I mean, compared to you, I'm tech priest intelligence god. As long as I'm not as horny as you, that's okay. I could get a room. This room is small but cozy. It's rented. Yeah, it's rented. Is it daytime again? You see a well-dressed middle-aged man. He seems to be scanning the crowd with a practiced eye. He notices you approach and gives you a quick once-over. What crowd? There's no one here. Greetings. He smiles at you and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I am Byron Pickett, moneylender. May I help you? Moneylender? He nods again. Yes, I cater to the needs of merchants. Want to start a business? Keep one afloat that's down on its luck. Or perhaps expand the business. In either case, you come to me for the funds. He looks you up and down. I doubt that you are a merchant, sir, so what can I do for you? I am a merchant. He smiles and looks away for a moment. A merchant of death, maybe, but not the kind I do business with. He frowns. If you insist on monopolizing my time, please come to the point of the visit. Can you tell me about your business? He frowns and shakes his head. No, I see no reason to. He looks you up and down. You're obviously not someone I conduct business with. I think you should leave. He looks away. Well, this has a full stack of a DevOps focused on cloud and infrastructure inside his chat.
I'm gone.
What? You're trying to look smart! What? A wrecked house. Okay. Go down here. Shelf of skulls. Thank the powers you're here, Chief. Get me out of here. Oh, it's Maud. What are you doing up there? Those weird vermin nicked me and brought me here. Come on, boss. We got to get out of here. This place is bad news. And why don't you just float down? I can't. I've tried. Come on, get me down before... A flash of light and smoke blinds you for a moment, and a withered old man stands before you. Have we a visitor, Skull? Oh no, Maud whispers furiously to you. Do not offend this blood, boss. He'll dead book you faster than you can spit. The old man ignores Maud. Greetings, traveler. Who might you be to enter Lothar's humble salon without invitation? My pardon, sir, but you seem to have something that belongs to me. Ah yes, what might that be? My friend Maud wound up on your shelf. You want that shattering skull with half the grace and the manners of any ordinary creature? Give me a greater skull in return if you wish it back, Lothar replies. I do not need to bargain for something that is already mine. Well, he's mine though. Or where can I find the greater skull? Move aside the divan in the center of the room and pass through the portal on the eastern wall in the chambers below to the catacombs. The portal will remain active for your return. In the catacombs, many skulls, one of great value, lies within the interred crypts of the Dustmen beyond the drowned nations. Bring that skull to me, as my were-rat minions have failed to do, and I will see to it that your friend is returned to you. Perhaps I shall even answer some of your questions. I've been to the tomb you speak of it, it's empty.
My journal.
What is the meaning of this? The tomb was so well trapped, so well defended from scrying magics, that it was a challenge even for me. There must be some explanation for this, and he draws out his words angrily and slowly. You will provide it to me. Go through the portal in the chambers below and seek the answer. It was my own tomb, bitch. Your tomb? Your tomb? He eyes you carefully. We shall investigate this more carefully. Fetch me another skull then, as you seem attached to yours, and we shall see what answers I can provide. Our agreement shall be as before. Do not try to deceive me with just any bone. Either I am something of a connoisseur. Return when you have something of value to me.
Updated my journal.
Tricks?
Bro, she leveled up again. What the fuck? Oh, do you want the skull of the Silent King? I have the skull of the Silent King, ruler of dead nations. Otha takes the skull of the Silent King from you and gently cradles it. The Silent King, yes. This will be satisfactory indeed. He whispers to the skull. You shall reveal all your secrets to me, my newest friend. His fingers twist through an arcane gesture. Your friend will be waiting for you above ground, where you came in. Have your answers from me. I play Satisfactory right now. Bad game! Play a good game. Play Planescape Torment. Keep it quick, Scarred One. I cannot tarry all day. Why am I immortal?
Updated my journal.
Your mortality, your soul, if you will, that which allows you to live and die, is gone from you. It was stripped from you by magical means, by the night hag Ravel Puzzlewell. Your mortality is the key to your existence. When you find it, you will find your answers. Well, I don't play Satisfactory, okay? I don't play those games, I'm sorry. I shove some planes straight up your ass. Satisfactory's bad game. I just don't play it, okay? You can have your opinion about it. I don't play Satisfactory. Tell me about this Revel. Revel Puzzlewell is an enigma, even among the night hags. Some would call her balmy, others say she plays a deeper game than any can see through. She is evil, through and through, making the fiends you will see in the area seem positively divine when compared to her. She is out of the reach of man now. Thank the powers, for she was mazed by the Lady of Pain. I'm gonna uninstall your printer driver. I don't even own a printer! I don't own a printer, I don't have one! Mazed? How do I find her? Mazes are like pocket dimensions, small places between places. To reach one, you need to find a portal and the key. I do not know where the door or the key are. Perhaps you should seek some of your old acquaintances. You have certainly left a trail of them behind. They will find you, no doubt. Pray they mean you well. Perhaps you should visit the Civic Fest Hall. They have many answers there. And what did Revel do?
Updated my journal.
She was a maker of toys and puzzles, a solver of problems that didn't need solving. She decided that Sigil, the cage, was the largest puzzle box of all, and set herself to undo it, to let in the armies of fiends at her disposal. No doubt to upset the balance of the city and turn the entire burg into a carnal house. Pray to any power you hold dear with thanks she did not succeed. I will find her then, and force her to return my mortality. Farewell.
I feel stronger.
Bro, I'm getting so many levels. have any level 3 spells.
All right.
So many levels, so much lack of skill. Bro, I recently leveled, like, I switched professions from a fighter to a mage. Shut up.
I'm gone.
Yeah, who's this guy? Oh, it's Mantuok, you little fucking bitch. You see a half-man, half-hybrid. It's red eyes. Wait, I know this person. Why can't I? Wait, we know this person. I'm looking for the person in charge here. You seek Lothar, yet you have come from his sanctum. Go now, and I shall forget I have seen you.
Done.
I should probably get Maud back before I continue like doing anything here. Right, that's the portal to the planes. I don't need to go there. Okay, nothing else. Alright, let's go up, let's go to Maud. They're just like stuck everywhere. Oh my god. Maud. Maud is cool, even though the game said
I'm gone.
that
Aye?
I should be careful of Maud.
Might as well. Got it.
I thought there's nothing in there.
I'm gone.
Right, if I steal right in front of his face, he will probably be mad at me, right?
Might as well.
Oh, there's just a skull in there.
Ready. Right. Got it.
Oh wow, there's another skull in there. Amazing.
I'm gone.
So cool.
All right.
Hey, there's Maud. We rescued Maud.
All right.
And we don't even talk to each other. The marketplace. I should probably go to the marketplace. What, Lenny? You see a feral-looking young man in shoddy clothes. His eyes dart about as he scans his surroundings. He notices you approach and begins eyeing you warily. Greetings. He looks you up and down and glances about. Returning his attention to you, he gives you a wicked grin. You would best have a good reason for disturbing Lenny, Burke. I have some questions. He laughs at you. I ain't no tout. If you've got questions, go find one. His smile broadens. You would best push off before I have to bleed you. I just need to ask you a few questions, man. He stops smiling and frowns at you. No, I don't answer questions, Burke. I told you to go find a tout. Now get. Bro, if you come, if you be like that, you know, I can also be like that. Fuck him up. Fuck you, Lenny. suck my dick. Okay, I got some daggers. Nice.
All right.
He was toxic first. He was toxic first. I love when no one cares that I just killed him. You see a sickly Githera woman. She is hunched and bent, and her constant coughing is obviously a source of pain to her. She holds a handkerchief that is practically soaking with blood, tissue, and phlegm to her face. She spies you and hisses. Greetings. She stares at you and speaks a few mumbled words to Dakon. Dakon glances at you and says she cannot understand your speech. She says she's dying. Dying of what? Her name is Anazi. She says she used to work in the meat curing house here until a half month ago, when the illness became too much for her to bear. She was abandoned, evicted from her home, and left for dead. Speech pains her, and her illness has crippled much of her mind. She says there is nothing she can give you of value. And? Know that she will not recover. I can put her out of her misery, that is all. As a Zerth of the people, it is my responsibility to provide an alternative. Do it then. Or then be merciful? Dakon draws his blade and waits for the woman to prepare herself. She touches the unbroken circle of Zerthimon he wears for a moment, and her face is stoic. His blade is a blur, and when he has completed the stroke, she lies bleeding on the hard stone of Sigil Street. Well struck, Dakon, let's go.
My journal.
Well struck, dude, nice one. Good job.
All right.
This air's making my skull itch.
The man has rough, leathery skin with a pale yellow cast and gaunt features. His face is angular, his nose is small and highly placed, and his ears taper to points. A tracery of tattoos and scars cover his body. He is dressed in strange, gaudy leathers that look more ornamental than combat-ready. His eyes are like two small black stones, and they track you as you approach. Before you reach him, Dakon pauses. I would caution you against speaking to this Githyanki. What's a Githyanki?
My journal.
Githyanki and Glycerai were once a common stock. We were slaves and food for the Illithids, mind flayers who devoured our lives in order to succor their own. One of the ancestors, the warriors Queen Gith, led us to victory against the Illithids. And we escaped. We have waged unending war on the Mind Flayers ever since. However, there was a disagreement over the future of our people. Upon the blasted plains, our leader, Zerthimon, made the pronouncement of two skies, and steel was bad. One race became two. It is a rift that cannot be crossed peacefully. Oh well, I'm not talking to them then. Glizzy Overdrive? Oh no, man. Fucking.
I'll take him.
So many slaves here, what's going on?
Come on, we got a special on slaves. Use them for whatever you will. They're right over
Is that the market? I didn't know there was a slave market. I just wanted to buy a weapon. I didn't want to come to buy slaves. You see a boisterous auctioneer. He is very animated and does a lot of shouting, yelling and stomping. He seems to have a tendency toward melodrama and makes a lot of strange facial expressions as he waves his arms. Greetings. He glances at you and motions to the crowd that he is taking a break. Well, 1,000 greetings do I bestow on you, sir. He does a double take when he notices your scars. You know, I take one look at you with my discerning eye, and I see a man in the market for some healing charms. Do you have any charms? He gives you a shocked look and gestures grandly at himself. Do I, Darren, have any charms? He pauses for effect. No, sir, I do not. However, don't let that fact discourage you. I have plenty of other items for sale. He points to the rear of the auction block where a group of people stands in chains. So you sell slaves? He shakes his head. No, sir. These are indentured servants, not slaves. For the most part, they are guilty of minor crimes. The proceeds from their sale go towards paying their debt to the city. After the term of servitude, they will be free citizens once again. That still sounds like slavery to me. He gives you a bright smile. I don't concern myself with such thoughts. My task is to sell the contracts as given by the Court of Sigil. He lowers his voice as he leans in closer. And collect a percentage for my efforts, you understand? He straightens. You said they were guilty of crimes. What crimes did they commit? He shrugs his shoulders in an exaggerated way. I don't know for certain, but I would guess theft, assault, or not being able to pay their debts. Those are the most common transgressions. I see. Trist, can I talk to you, Trist? You see a young woman who's trying to get your attention. She is wearing shoddy clothes, but her demeanor is one of elegance, unlike that of the people who surround her. Upon closer inspection, you notice that her skin is clean and smooth, lacking the yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She notices your approach and smiles at you. Greetings. I thank the powers that you noticed me. I am in need of the service of a mercenary. She pauses and examines you more carefully. If appearances are any indication, you would seem to be such an individual. Appearance can be deceptive. A look of concern crosses her face. Yes, Cutter, forgive me. I did not mean to offend you. I am in a situation of, well, desperation. I have exhausted all resources available to me in order to remedy my situation, but what exactly is it that you want from me? She nods to you. The heart of the matter is that I am to be sold into slavery for a crime I did not commit. I am in need of a champion, someone who will help me prove my innocence and free me from this fate. She pauses and looks at you expectantly. Tell me what exactly is going on. That's you, Vololo. That is you, Vololo. You came up with this. You're looking straight at her ass. She thinks for a moment. This is long and Italian, Cutter. Please bear with me. Well, go on. She sighs as she begins her tale. My husband died recently and left me his business. I am not business oriented, so I decided to sell. Not long afterward, I was contacted by a lender saying a loan on the business had not been paid. She pauses to gather her thoughts. I examined all of the documents my husband kept and found that there had indeed been a loan taken, but it had just recently been paid in full. I explained this to the lender, and a few days later he asked for a copy of the document. It was nowhere to be found. She looks concerned and pauses to think. Go on. Well, when I could not prove that the loan was paid, the lender took me before the court. My monies were taken and applied to the balance owed. Since it did not pay off the loan, I am to be sold on the block to try and recover the remaining amount due. She gives you a fallen look. I don't understand why sell you into slavery. She shrugs. It serves many purposes. First, it keeps the prison relatively clean of all the vilest criminals. Second, the sale of the convicted is used to pay for any damages, costs, or fees involved in the case. Finally, the convicted still serves a sentence from which they are eventually released, supposedly as better citizen. This is all fascinating, but I don't see how I can help you. I need someone to find the missing document, the one that proves the loan was paid, or if you could purchase my contract, I could pay you back. She gives you a pleading look. I can't spend the next 5 years of my life in this ward cutter. It will kill me. Surely you have noticed the illness shared by all who live here. Geleth, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, welcome. Hi. Yes, the yellow skin and coughing, right? Buy her? Yeah, that's what you want, Vololo, huh? That's what you want. You just want to buy woman, huh? Hope you had a good stream, Killeth. She nods her head. Yes, Cutter, please, can you find it in your heart to help me? She looks at you nervously. Please. What is in for me if I help you? She stares at you blankly for some time, then a look of concern crosses her face. I have nothing to give you, Cutter. I have lost everything. She appears desperate now. Please don't leave me to this fate. Alright, I'll help.
Updated my journal.
Sea of Thieves! Hey! I'm glad you're enjoying it. You're playing solo or co-op? What's the lender's name? I'm playing co-op. Nice. Hope you have fun. Pretty sure it's a lot of fun co-op. That's gonna be... I think like most games are like a lot more fun in co-op than in single player, right? Can do like almost any game. It's gonna be a lot more enjoyable than in single player. What's the lender's name? I know his name well, Cutter. After all I've been through, I will not likely forget it. She gets a far away look and then jealous for a moment. Byron Pickett is his name. She pauses for a moment. And his associate, maybe someone named Lenny, or Lenny is dead. Well, I am sorry, but I killed Lenny already. She thinks for a moment. There was a small feral-looking man who came to court a few times. He would sit behind Pickett and whisper to him occasionally. She pauses and looks lost in thought. Go on. She frowns. I remember him because he always seemed to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He would pick at them as if they were new, as if he were not used to wearing them. She pauses again. On one such occasion, Pickett told him to sit still and stop fidgeting. He called him Lenny. Well, okay, Lenny's dead. All depends on the game, because sometimes single player hits just right as well. That's true. I mean, I play like most of my time single player, because there are not many multiplayer games I kind of like to play. But if there's one, it's always a lot of fun.
I'm gone.
My lungs feel like a chimney.
Come here, Byron, you motherfucker. I have some questions. I want to talk about Trist. Ah, Trist. He frowns and looks away. After a moment, he looks at you and raises his eyebrow. What about her? I'm trying to find the missing document for her. He sighs and shakes his head. There is no missing document. That was a ruse instigated by Trist to cast doubt on her debt. This matter has been thoroughly investigated by the Mercy Killers and they found no evidence of any such documents. They could have missed something. That is a possibility, but not very likely. You obviously are not familiar with the Mercy Killers or their methods for you to make such a statement. If they could not find the document, then it does not exist. He looks at you angrily. Someone could have stolen the document and then destroyed it, and that way the loan would be paid twice. For a moment he looks as if he is about to be furious with you, then a gloating smile crosses his face. What a terrible thought. Pity there is no proof of any such activity. He continues to smile at you. Yes, a pity, so tell me, why have Trist sold into slavery? Couldn't she pay you your money in the form of a loan? Yes, she could. And I did make that offer to her. He looks at you sternly. However, she turns me down. I don't allow second chances. No one turns me down without suffering the consequences. No one.
I'm gone.
The Mercy Killer. How much would it cost if I just buy her?
How much for the child?
Not how much for the child. No. I want to ask you about Trist. He frowns for a moment and shrugs. Very well, so what about... can I buy her contract? He frowns. Certainly, sir, if you meet the requirements as governed by the courts of sigil and can afford the contract. He smiles. What are the requirements? He begins to count off points on the fingers of one hand. First, you must be a citizen of Sigil. Second, you must show proof of permanent residence here, and that you can provide accommodations and support for the servant. Lastly, you cannot have a criminal record of yourself. And how much is it? He gives you a broad smile and gestures at the nearby crowd. I will start the bidding at 500 coppers, sir. What if I want to purchase a contract outright? He gives you a look of mock sadness and shakes his head. She is to be auctioned to the highest bidder, sir. That is the law. What if I can prove she's innocent? He laughs and looks at you mockingly. As an agent of the courts, I could go before them with the new evidence and have all judgments against Trist reversed. Do we have such evidence? Not yet. He also said, do you intend to seek such evidence on behalf of Miss Trist? Yes. He stares at you for a moment, trying to gauge your seriousness. Very well. I will not auction Trist for now, sir. Good luck in your endeavor. Now leave me be and get to it.
Updated my journal.
Okay.
Done.
I want them all. How much for the bunch of them?
I should have asked about the Mercy Killer, actually. What the fuck is this? Vault of the Ninth World? Welcome to the Vaults of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigilin? What is this place? The Vaults of the Ninth World is pleased to serve as a warehouse for the lower world and all the sentients of Sigil. Our motto is, when one world just isn't big enough, we provide storage space for that have little to spare. Our prices are competitive, our service exemplary, and our courtesy to customers is known throughout the planes. And what are you? I am the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. I am here to serve you, the customer. Instruct me in what you desire. Gonna eat, I'm sleepy. You sleepy? Have a good sleep. Have a good sleep, wololo. You see a thin, skulking man. His long, nimble fingers quiver slightly, and he has trouble meeting your eyes when he talks to you. You startled me. I haven't seen you around here before, stranger. What do you want from me? Who are you? I am Connell. I work here. What's this place? He looks at you carefully to see if you're joking. It's the Vault of the Ninth World. It's a storehouse. Didn't you read the sign when you came in? I guess, thanks.
Done.
You see a middle-aged woman, her face care-lined and compassionate. She looks like she's led a hard life. Can I help you with something? Who are you? I'm Lena. I supervise these other two. She waves a hand at her companions. What is it you do here? This is a storehouse. I'm a supervisor. Things get stored here. Things get taken out of here. She shrugs. Not much to tell, really. Okay.
All right.
I'm leaving now.
Done.
Fuck you.
All right.
No, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. What the fuck? No.
Gone.
You see a reptilian creature with a snake-like body, 4 clawed feet, leathery wings, and a draconian head. The scales covering its body are a vile shade of green. The creature stands upright on its hind legs, balancing with its prehensile tail. As you approach, his eyes narrow to slit, and it begins to hiss. Greetings! The air around the creature begins to radiate heat, and its scales take on a pale sheen. It gives you a hungry look and appears ready to strike. Suddenly, it releases a flurry of hisses and relaxes its stance a bit. Sss, go! Grossok, no talk! Toad, wait! Sss. It glares at you as its tail lashes back and forth. Sebastian sent me. The creature relaxes quite a bit and the air grows cooler. It holds out a clawed hand to you. Sss. Give Grossok information. He looks at you expectingly. What information? It's hard to read facial expressions on a reptile, but you are certain that Grossok is rather annoyed with you. His tail begins to lash furiously and the air grows warm again. No questions. Give Grossok information or die. Grossok, then take information from body. I need to know which piece of information it is for you. I run errands intended for several people, you understand? He glares at you for a moment while he thinks. Finally, he gestures at a nearby tower. Siege tower. How get inside? Sebastian say he divine way. Grossok takes a step towards you and holds out his hand. Now give. Oh, that information. I'm sorry, Sebastian wanted to deliver that one in person. He'll be along soon.
Updated my journal.
The air around Grossok begins to radiate heat, and his scales take on a pale sheen. He gives you a hungry look and appears ready to strike. But I know something that I think it's worth your time. Wait, what is that? Grossok cocks his head to one side and glares at you. He seems lost in thought for a moment. Grossok, listen. Information good, you live. He gives you a toothy grin. Not good, you die. Grossok, give word. Sebastian can't fulfill your contract. He sent me here to kill you.
Updated my journal.
Grossok stares at you for some time, then releases a stream of frustrated hisses. He begins to flex his claws and his tail lashes back and forth. You notice a barbed stinger appear from the tip of his tail occasionally. Yes, information good. Grossok, give word. You live. Grossok, thank. Grossok, go now. Need talk Sebastian.
Get your slave over here! Two for the price of one!
All right.
Oh, Sebastian! You fucked with the wrong guy.
Air's making my skull itch.
Oh, he's dead.
I'm gone.
Here, I'll take him. I'll take him!
What do we have here?
Done.
You see a thin, stooped man hunched over a desk, scribbling on the piece of paper. His hair is thinning and drab, drawn back into a ponytail, and thin spectacles adorn his hooked nose. His age could be anywhere from his early 20s to his late 40s. He doesn't look up as he speaks to you. What do you want? Make it quick. What do you do here? He looks sharply at you, seizing the scritching of his pen. Are you entirely dim? It's a printing shop. I print things here. Look around you. I print. What do you print? Books, pamphlets, handbills, words, letters, whatever. He amens. Though I don't do ricey prints, and I won't fulfill any perversions you might want, nor do I care to ask. I have a few questions. Do they have to do with work? Well, no. Then you're wasting your time and mine. Good day. Why don't you ignore me? He waves his hand and you find yourself outside the shop. What the?
Done.
Oh my god. Oh, that's cool though. This older, stern-looking woman is clearly on her way somewhere. When she notices you approach, she studies you with a disapproving, tight-lipped frown. Greetings. The woman nods curtly, speaking in a tone cold as ice. Yes? What is it? And what's your words, for I am Diligence, 4th Magistrate of the Ward. You're who? Diligence simply stares at you, a faintly disgusted look upon her face. I had some questions. Diligence smirks. I am no tout, sir, who entertains the questions of passers-by for a handful of coins. Find someone else to answer your questions. I have important government business to attend to. I don't think you are a tout, madam. Rather, you appeared most knowledgeable, and I was hoping you could aid me. Just the same, sir. I have no time for your questions. Well, farewell then, bitch.
All right.
The brothel? What the fuck? We're going into the brothel?
I'm gone.
Before you is a stunning, golden-haired woman dressed in an azure and violet dress with 2 long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She's serving the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. Greetings.
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
The woman turns as you addresses her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? I suspect I have been here for quite some time, actually. Fall from Great raises an eyebrow. Indeed. Yes, but that is a long tale, perhaps longer than I know. I am more interested in what this place is. This is the brothel of slating intellectual lust. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you did not intend to partake of this establishment. Brothel of slating intellectual lust. What kind of brothel is this? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than the simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in verbal arts with others. It's a brothel where you talk? Sounds dull. I assure you it is not. Tour the brothel, see for yourself. So this is a brothel where there's no intercourse? Only of a physiological nature. Rest assured, it is still quite stimulating. Why did you establish such a place? Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. That is an odd question. She frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. So, why did you? Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And that is why you established this place? This brothel is intended to slate the lust of even the hardened intellectuals. It is designed to stimulate the mind, to heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasure that fill the hive and lower wards. Hey, Spaz, hope you're doing well. Hi, hi. Well, I wouldn't call them shall. I mean, I can understand that. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of the most hardened individual. Sensates? She bows slightly. Yes, I'm a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And the girls here are in training to be sensates? Yes, I hope that by learning the art of language and its subtleties, that the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as the command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. I see. If I may ask, Lady Grace, the wings on your back, you're not human, I take it? She's one of Fiend's one, the succubi. She is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she will. Your companion is correct. I'm a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spends their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. And you?
Updated my journal.
I would like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There's much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps so. I came here looking for help. Perhaps you can help me. What kind of help are you looking for? I seem to have lost my memories. In so doing, I've lost myself. You have been stricken with amnesia. Fall from grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Not really. At least not that I can remember. I woke up on a slab in the mortuary and everything before that is blank. Or black. You woke in a mortuary? I think that Dustman mistook me for being dead. Or I was dead. Or something. All I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly. I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. Fall from Grace seems to be appraising you with renewed interest. Those scars on your body. She reaches out a hand, as if to touch you. May I? Sure. Fall from Grace drags her finger across your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves where they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. The scars do look as if they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. They certainly do, though some are more recent. Fall from Grace steps back. Some of those wounds would have been fatal to a normal man. She taps her chin, thinking, what do you intend to do now? I need to get my memories back and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to this state. Fall from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal scene. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but your condition is intriguing. Well, I'm glad you think so. I have offended you with my words. Fall from Grace bows her head. I give my apology, if you will have it. Apology accepted. Fall from Grace nods. If it will help, you are welcome to tour the brothel. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories. I may do that. Can I speak you more questions? Okay. Have you ever heard of a night hag named Revel? I am familiar with the name. Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as a myth. But I suspect that she did exist and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow. Truly? I find myself compelled to ask why. Why I need information that she has. Is this information available from no one else? I suspect that only Revel possesses the knowledge I need.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hand lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Revel does indeed exist, then she is extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. To search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. I realize that. Do you know anything else about Revel? She was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste, and that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Now she primarily exists only as fiction, as a figure in children's stories. Grace pauses. I imagine the Lady of Pain dealt with her, as all threats to Sigil are dealt with. How?
Updated my journal.
Revel was most likely sent to a maze, one of the lady's prisons. Well, I know what a maze is. I was there already. What mazes? What are those?
My journal.
Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle. The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of Sigil. You watch in surprise as a ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into the air, curling into a small circle, and make a maze. Go on. The small ghostly circle floats in the air, and then begins slowly rotating. The piece of Sigil she takes holds the prisoner. There is no escaping being mazed. It can happen at any time, while walking down the street, through a door. She claps her hands. And then, you are somewhere else. Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside. Go on. Grace continues, the tiny ghost maze reflected in her eyes. It is said there's a portal that leads out of the maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left in to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps they are left in to torture the prisoners. The ghostly maze dissolves. Perhaps it is both. Can you tell me more about this plane that Revel is from the Grey Waste? A blighted plane that lies effectively between Abatur and the Abyss, it is frequently a battleground of the Blood War. Do you know what happened to Revel? Revel was most likely sent to a maze, okay. Is there anyone else who might know about her? Someone in the Festival may know about her.
Updated my journal. Done.
This dark-haired, pale-skinned woman has a cultured, refined look about her. As she turns to you, you know that her eyes, which you had previously thought to be grey, are the color of brushed steel. Greetings. The woman's voice is soft, calm, and without inflection. It has a certain faraway quality, as if somehow not attached to her. Greetings, I am called Dolora. May I serve you somehow? In what ways can you serve me, Dolora? She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently, if that is your wish. I am also well versed in various games of strategy, should you wish to play something, though I have the materials for few such games here. I was hoping something of more physical nature. Dolora seems neither intrigued nor repulsed, but answers in the same flat tone. Then you're mistaken as to the purpose of this establishment. The brothel caters to lusts of the cerebral sort, and not those of the loins. In any case, I can assure you I would make a most unsatisfactory partner. Why would you say that? That is simply my nature. Allow me to show you. She reaches out to touch your arm. Dolora runs the back of her hand along your forearm. Her skin is smooth and dry, but cold, like chilled iron. The touch sends a shiver down your spine and sets the hair of your arm on end. Do not trouble yourself to ask who or what I am, for I will only tell you that is simply my nature. Very well. You mentioned debating. Dolora nods. That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions of their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Archeron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage you in debate. Choose a topic, see if you can best her. You choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time as the two of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodically undermine the other's position. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you. A memory trying to surface. Allow the memory to surface. Memory of a great hall begins to form in your mind. A vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol of you dimly recall as the sign of one. The two of you stood in a circle of onlookers who have gathered to listen to your debate. Continue the memory. But it's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. Oh, but it is. To recall yourself replying, I've made several inarguable points and given you a number of examples. You simply don't exist. But you can't. Were I to accept that, Yes, you would cease to exist. And without a flash of light or puff of smoke, with no fanfare of any sort, the man was simply gone. Good night, Sparrow! Good night and sleep well! Thank you for hanging out today! Bye-bye! The onlookers oohed and ahed. Some clapped. You remember giving a flourishing bow and walking away, a small satisfied smile upon your lips. You suddenly realize Dolora is watching you closely. Are you feeling well? We might finish our discussion at another time, should you like. No, let's continue this debate. Though Dolora is extremely hard pressed to beat you, she eventually prevails. Her infallible sense of logic at last wins out over even your most brilliant arguments. She seems to take no joy in her victory, however, merely nodding in approval. You are a most skilled debater. This there is no denying. I feel that you had you time to perform some research, I might not have bested you. Oh, thanks. Dolora nods. If you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Wait, are you always so ruthless in a debate? Dolora nods. Mistress Grace instructed me to show no mercy. For another of her students, always allow a patron to win after a lengthy debate. It was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience for the clientele. Could we play again? Of course, is there anything in particular you wish to play? I don't really remember many games. Here then, allow me to show you one. Dolora brings out a thin, lacquered box, which unfolds into a small board marked with a grid. The contents of the box prove to be a number of polished stone chips, half of them black, half of them white. This game goes by many names. Shall I explain you the rules? Sure. Dolora explains to you the rules of the game, how the chips are moved, how to best one opponent. It seems somehow faintly familiar to you. The rules are simple, yes, but a great deal of complexity lies within the game itself. It takes a great deal of time to master. Shall we play? Yeah, let's. As you play, you come to realize that you have done so before. You recall various ploys and strategies that have won you previous games. Trying every trick you know to beat her, suddenly a strange feeling comes over you, a memory trying to surface. Memories of a smoke-filled field of battle begins to fill your mind. Atop a great hill overlooking the fighting, you sat, mounted upon a massive four-legged beast. The braying of horns carried your orders to the troop below. Even as you watched, your forces divided, fleeing left and right as the foreign arms fought its way up to the hill to slay the enemy lord, you. The fools, you had thought, lips curling into a wicked smile. My knights shall charge down the hillside and stop their advance in an instant, and at the very moment my retreating footmen will fall and to crush their flanks. Ah, yet another victory soon to be mine. You suddenly realize Dolora is watching you intently. Are you feeling well? We might take up the game another day if you wish. No, let's continue the game. Throughout the game, Dolores seems to counteract all but your most crafty moves, one after another. Despite your best efforts, you at last fall beneath her well-calculated strategies. She does not smile or gloat, however, but quietly begins to put the game away. You are a fine player. In time, I am certain you could become a master of the game. Thanks, but do you always have to play so mercilessly? Yeah, okay. Dolora casts her eyes to the floor with a sound that might be a sad sigh. I am willing to serve you as a patron, but I have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but I fear you shall simply have to bear with that for the time being. What's wrong? Anything I can help you with?
My journal.
She looks up from the floor and into your eyes. Once more you are struck by the pale smoothness of skin, the cold depth of her silvery eyes. No, I fear not. My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think all things shall be resolved. Are you certain there's nothing I could do? Certain? Dolora pauses, as if thinking. No, I'm not. My first love, Merriman, possesses still the keys to my heart. So long as he has them, I shan't be free to love another. This is the cause of my melancholy. Or melancholy. Why don't you seek him? Dolora shakes her head. I may not leave this place. The reasons why are deeply personal and not to be shared with strangers, even ones who might bestow a kindness upon me. But suffice to say that I cannot seek out Merriman myself. Then I'll find his Merriman and speak to him.
Updated my journal.
Dolora nods, the slightest hint of a smile appearing on her lips. She bows her head. Were you to find and speak with Merriman, I would be most grateful. He's a member of the Society of Sensation, so you may wish to ask for him at the Civic Fest Hall. Alright?
Alright.
The dark-haired young woman is staring listlessly off into space, sighing miserably and occasionally picking at the seams of a green velvet gown. It's difficult to discern whether she is depressed or simply bored. Greetings. She gives you only the briefest of glance before staring off into the distance once more. Greetings. Yes, I am named Juliet. How may I... Ah, never though mind. Leave me be, please. She gives an exasperated sigh. What's wrong? Nothing at all. Only that I spent my days gazing into the face of mediocrity, seeing if anything can erase its dreadful, tedious passage. Is your life so tedious? Alas, it is, she sighs, closing her eyes and massaging her temples. Dreadfully boring. Perhaps I could make it less boring for you, milady? No, this kind of thee to offer, though. I am already with a man, sir, and I do love him dearly. It's just that I wish, she taps her finger against her chin, something more of our relation. Is the relationship lacking, then? The only thing it lacks is excitement, sir. Our families took the news of our courtship splendidly. His siblings love my siblings, and our friends think our unison to be blessed by the powers themselves. All fine and good, but things are going, she frowns, so smoothly. 'Tis not right to have such a trouble-free courtship. I don't know about that. Hast thou ever had such a courtship? She glances briefly at you. 'Twould seem that thy life is filled with a variety of problems, judging by the pallor of thy skin. I can't remember any courtships I have had, and the remnants of the one I have encountered suggest that I may have had some problems. That's just all that my friends have such interesting relationships, once fraught with turmoil, feuding families, daggers at one another's backs, poison, mad siblings, and irate fathers with large swords. I have a lover whose family loves me and whom the world loves. She sighs again. A great source of annoyance. How I wish I could formulate some way to spice things up. Maud floats close to you, whispering, I feel sorry for her lover. He doesn't know how bad he has it. A shit like this is nothing but trouble. What did you have in mind, Juliet? I'm not sure. Some element of danger. Or jealousy. Something intense. Why don't you have an affair? She chews her lips. Never could I have a true affair, for I love him too much. But perhaps I could have a false one. She looks at you up and down critically. Thou dost appear to be no stranger to dangerous behavior. Art thou interested in becoming a suitor? Bro, are we becoming... Oh my god. Well, sure, I'll do it. Excellent, my love. Montague may be found within the civic fest hall. I thank thee. I'll speak to him.
My journal, all right.
Bro, we are about to cuck someone. What the fuck? This petite, attractive young woman is smiling blissfully and humming to herself. Her wide, pale blue eyes seem to constantly drink in her surroundings as she looks about. Greetings. The smiling young woman curtsies gracefully and looks up to you, smiling. Well met, good sir. I'm Nanny. And how are you this fine day? She suddenly notices your scars and places a gloved hand over her mouth. Oh my, you're hurt, she blinks. All over. Maud spins around you, mocking the girl's obviousness. Powers above, Chief, she is right. I never noticed before. You're covered in scars. They are old scars, I'm fine. She nods quietly, lowering her hand. I had some questions. Huh? She can't seem to tear her eyes from your scars. Oh, how shameful of me. Don't mind my rude staring. I am named Nanny. She makes a little curtsy. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our brothel of the slating of intellectual lusts. She returns to staring at your body. You have tattoos under those scars too. What's that one? She points to one of your tattoos. That one's looks fascinating. Look at the way the lines of ink. I think that's ink. She squints at the tattoo, then reaches out to touch it. Aloud. I think that's ink. She traces a finger around the edge of the tattoo. Is it ink? And what a pattern. Look at the way the lines intersect here. She touches the center of the tattoo. That's simply amazing. She purses her lips and frowns in disappointment. I could make it out better if there weren't so many scars. There's nothing to be done about the scars. They're permanent. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pox on me for even mentioning them. She cringes. But I have to know. Are you absolutely sure you're alright? I'm looking at you and I can't help but believe that you are not in some pain. I have amnesia, but that's all. Amnesia? Then he blinks, then brightens. Loss of memory? You're so lucky, she chimes perkily. Everything must be so new to you. Well, there's truth in that, but the newness is unwelcome. She blinks. That sounds so sad. It is, but I had some other questions. What are you doing here? I'm talking to you, silly. She giggles and pokes you in the belly. Just like I talk to all the patrons here. All the prostitutes do. That's what the brothel is about. Learning new ways to talk and share experiences and understand other people. Can you tell me about this place? Sure I can. The brothel of slating intellectual lust is a school that was started by Mistress Fall from Grace. The prostitutes here, like me, are taught the ins and outs of talking to people, all to help us learn more about ourselves and others. I love it here. It's a non-stop wave of experiences crashing into me, filling my head with fresh and new ideas. Mort mutters to himself, I guess it's good that there's something in there. Okay. Do you know anything about
Updated my
Rebel?
journal.
No, sorry. That's a great name though, huh? I bet she is a really interesting person. Hey, you should ask Ives about her. Ives collects all kinds of stories. Alright.
Done.
This striking young woman has skin the color of burnished copper. Hiya Fenric, hi. I've been doing well. A translucent white dress held precariously by golden clasps is strapped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings. The woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. I have some questions. Who are you? She smiles and curtsies but offers no response. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at
Updated my
you.
journal.
I love this shit already. Can you write then, or pantomime? She pouts, shaking her head. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. Actually, let me ask you something else. Do you know anything about Revel? Her eyes flash and she smiles. She nods at you. What do you know of
Updated my
her?
journal.
She simply looks at you.
I'm gone.
This tall, elegant woman with her sharp features and regal demeanor is a striking example of aristocratic beauty. Her clothes appear to be spun of silver thread and a small phial dangles from her necklace. She is perfumed with an exotic, erotic scent that seems to draw you towards her. Greetings. She looks you over, arching an eyebrow with what you sense to be disdain. Greetings. My name is Vivian. Am I to presume... I presume I am being summoned? I just had some questions. What are you doing here? Aside from my work as a student here, I am looking for something actually. You would not happen to have smelled it, would you? Smelled it? Yes, I have a particular scent that seems to have gone wandering. It is somewhat difficult to keep in one place. I hope someone did not take it by accident, though you never know with the ladies around here. She frowns. So by any chance, have you smelled it somewhere? Well, you smell quite nice, you know. She scowls for a moment and smiles at you. Yes, and I thank you for your compliment, but I assure you, this particular aroma is nothing to my personal scent. She sighs. Your YouTube chat is weird. You think so, Frankish? You think so? How can a scent go wandering? Vivian shakes her head. I had meant to infer that it had been taken. The ladies here are a bit jealous at times and have been known to take my various perfumes for themselves. This time though, someone had absconded with my own personal scent. I worked on that scent, perfected it, and now poof, it's gone. I need to bear such annoyance. Vivian stomps her feet. I want that scent back and I want it now. Hey, Val! Hoi hoi! Hope you're doing well. How would you know if you found it? You would know it by smell, I assure you. This is quite striking, especially to men. Well, I guess I can help you. Vivian seems dubious. Are you certain? I do not wish to impose. No imposition. I am pleased to help such a lovely woman as yourself.
My journal.
Anna mumbled something angrily. You catch the words piking and itch stick. Vivian smiles and nods to you. You're too kind. Very well. If you run across it, please let me know. I am somewhat anxious to get it back. One of a kind scent, really. Okay. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute?
Updated my journal.
You mean Esco? She's a dear. Quiet. Vivian frowns. That may be part of the charm. There's all manner of speculations as to why she is silent, but I think 'twas that her heart was most horribly broken. Dolora might know best. She has been known to speak to a man Echo once loved before she lost her voice. Anything from a little wow, and for this. Hey, it's for the XP, okay? Do you know anything about Revel? Isn't she some historical figure? I can't quite recall. Who is she? A night hag from Sigil's past, I think. I hope she stays in the past then. Night hags are foul creatures, besmirching all femininity everywhere in the plains. She suddenly pauses. You may wish to ask Ives. She knows all sorts of peculiar little tales. Okay.
Done.
Alright, let me go to her first and then we talk about Esco. Oh no, wait, who was it? Dolora, right? It was Dolora. Okay, I can't talk to her. I need to do a quest first, I guess. Oh, this is Ives. This fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft sea green eyes. Greetings. Greetings, I am Ives, the tail chaser. What a coincidence. I too chase tails. Ives continues unperturbed. Have you come to trade tails? I would like to trade tails. Ives nods. I would like that very much, yes. Tell her a story of your waking up in the mortuary. Ives leans forward as you tell the tale of your awakening and the Dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell a tale of the Dustman. Chapters of Dust. There are chapters in a dead book, the massive tome which the Dustmen keep, that record of the passing of all that lives into the internal boundary. In this book there are chapters that are naught but dust, and it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally until history itself dies and grants them release. I have another tale. How about the alley of the lingering sights? Ives leans forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour. Alright. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. Before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a Modron is? No. Modrons are creatures of total law, almost more machinery than living things. There are many different sorts of Modron, but all have their place in a very rigid, carefully organized hierarchy. So dedicated and they to the system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of Modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. Alright. Then I should tell you the tale of the clocks and the quadrone. Go on. Once upon a time, there existed a Modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and it has come to Sigil, following the commands of its Modron superiors. It knew of nothing but commands and dictates of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, Modrons are only aware of the commands of the immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. One day it came upon a small shop within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The Modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clocks. Okay. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery and carved new hands from the sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted it as much as anything may comfort the Modron. And what the Modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock, that it had worked on, for some reason it could not explain, elected to remain in sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. Okay. How about the Silent King? I shall remember this saying, the petitioner at the gate. It was far after peak when a distant pounding was heard at the gates of the prison. Karas, the oldest mercy killer known to the faction, dragged himself from his post, making his way down the hall to the great gates that separated the punished from the outside world. The pounding did not fade as he reached the gate and spoke to it. He called out and received no answer. He opened the gate, far from feeling caution, but a strange, compelling sensation. A haggard figure was on bent knees just beyond the door. Her hands were bloody from where they had been pounding against the gate, and her breath came in labored gasps. As the flickering light from the interior prison chamber poured across the cobbles, she glanced up at the mercy killer who stood framed in the doorway and began to sob with relief. He felt himself mirrored in all but his gender as he stared at the woman, and he was stirred by her presence. Karas found himself unsure of what to say, so he simply waited for the woman to provide an explanation. She did. It was a simple statement, but of utmost importance, and it made Karas, whose knees ached painfully with every movement, bend down and help the woman to her feet. He brought her in from the outside, guiding her gently into the passage beyond. She had said that injustice had been done, and that was all that Karas needed to hear. In the end, it came to pass that she could not fulfill her duty as a Fury, for a man guilty of a blood crime had died unpunished. She begged Karas and the Mercy Killers for aid, and so they executed her. She had failed in her charge. Ask one of your companions? Morta, do you have a tail? Okay, no. No, I'll do it. I just thought I would complain a little out of convention science. I do love the attention. No way, Mort. I don't want to hear it. Please, come on, please. It's a great story. Lots of characters, action, foreshadowing, and startling denouement. What's a denouement? Oh shit. Okay. An elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go, and he'd forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He would sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs, and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly and with a cackle spoke, "Now, your third wish. What will it be?" Go on. Third wish? The man was baffled. How can it be a third wish if I haven't had the first and second wish? You've had 2 wishes already, the hag said, but your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes. She cackled at the poor Berg. So it is that you have 1 wish left. Alright, said the man. I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am. Funny, said the old woman, as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. That was your first wish. I have smiled. An interesting tale, Maud. And now I have one for you and your companion. A fiend's game. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day, he came upon some hunters in the wood. "What are you doing?" the fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. "I have never been on a hunt before." The hunters invited the old man to come along, and the group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows but did not fire, and the fiend asked them why. "They are unarmed," the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. "We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to fend itself. After all, where is the sport in that?" The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Okay. How about Anna? "I am not good at telling such things, I'm not," she frowns and waves her hands as if trying to shoo away the idea. "Don't be asking me for such nonsense now." Please share your story, Anna. Come on already, fiendling. You already have one tail you won't part with. Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. "Well, I know one story." She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Ives. "But you might not like it, and you won't, so don't blame me for you choking it out of me." Well, go ahead. Anna scowls and finally relents with an exasperated sigh. "I heard a story when I was a wee lass. 'Tis Burke's walking home real late, near Anti-Peak, and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. 'Where you going?' she asks him. 'Home, to me wife in Kip,' he says. 'Near the slacks?' she asks him. 'Sure enough,' he says. So she asks him a favor. To take a box she's got at Dita's pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no despite the fact he's sure something's not quite right about this old crown, and agrees. But what's the old woman's name, he asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Data's pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever he does, do not open the box. So she takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Data's pit when it's light out. His wives, though, seeing him hide in the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members with their hair still on him. Her screams brought the Burg running. He remembered what the crone said, go right scared, and wrapped the box back up. No! No, fuck, I misclicked. No! He went out straight away to Data's pit, and sure enough there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box and she says to him, this box has been opened and looked into. The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. You have done something horrible, she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his kip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wives bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day he died of a rotten disease, and the first thing to go was his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale's complete. Now I have one, alright, the parched land. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees, but the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. Dakon. Dakon nods solemnly. I shall impart the tale of Achali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akali, a foolish Gizzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Gizzerai may use the focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small, habitable environment. Ashali, however, asks so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her, and she drowned. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share you with the companions, okay? Go on, Ives. Ives goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale, in which Akali was driven from the Gizzerai city of Shrakt lore for her constant useless prating. One day, she encountered a Sladi on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Sladi found difficult to break down. Hungrily, she waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and she has become more absorbed in her pointless queries. And the Sladi's answer, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Oh, you caught a tail chaser. Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of direction, so she asked this oracle as to what would give her purpose. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. His only answer to the girl's question was that within one story that she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories, which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands holds the truth. Such is the danger of a foolish question and the wisdom of an unspoken one. What are you doing here? I collect tales and trade them with others who have tales of their own. Can you tell me one of the stories you already shared again? What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Echo. Ives frowns, thinking, I have once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that if spoken would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Dolora though. I understand she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent.
Updated my journal.
Ives shakes her head. Speak with Nanny. She is forever pacing about, observing everything intently. Do you know anything about Revel? The tale of Revel Puzzlewell, Frightened of Children, begins and ends with the question, what can change the nature of a man? Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail, and they found the piece of their wrong answers to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than the last victims. To recount the various torments would be to speak of would speak of things that nightmares are woven from. The tale strikes me in this way. Revel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially to one of such power as Revel? It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself. daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wrote terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll in like a wave. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Revel's question, and now there is no one to petition, for Revel herself is gone, lost in the plains.
Updated my journal.
Wait, there's more. Though my tale ends with Revel's demise, there are some that claim the hag still lives. There's a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Revel. Perfect.
All right.
Oh my god, dude. There's so many people still to talk to. Holy shit.
All right.
I had some questions. What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Oh no, wait, the scent, right? Then he frowns deeply. Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anymore. I'm just not good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nanny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nanny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she just wishes you would leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, alright. Nanny puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Oh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of a corner of her eyes, as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? Not really. Nanny frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you, depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice it on me, Nanny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie. She looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on brute. You big, mean, nasty brute. Better, now hit me. Then he clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead, do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Nanny slaps you. You barely feel it. She still looks shocked and frightened she hurt you. I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Don't break character, Nanny. Come on, show me what you've got. You can say something bad, just let it out. Oh, I mean... Oh, Nanny draws her tiny frame to its full height, balls her hand into fists, puts them on her hips, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damn, BU, you deserve that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night, her eyes roam up and down your body, getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think, huh? Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me, like I'm some backlicker looking for your approval. I'm my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. Alright, that's enough out of... Then he punches you, you barely feel it. Take this! She punches you again, and this! She punches you again, promptly turning into a little fist-flaying whirlwind. Okay, okay, time to let go of the anger. Then he signs tiredly. Well, that was easier than I thought. No kidding. And I'm sure I'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Do you know where to find the scent though?
My journal.
Maybe I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person. And that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I would go ask her about it. Nanny nods at you. Thanks.
Done.
Squinting at the figure behind the partition, you can barely make out a shapely female form in the darkness. She turns to you, but you can see nothing but nothing off her face. Greetings. The figure answers in a voice that is slow and deadly, like a steel dagger drawn across stone. Yes, come to speak with Marissa, have you? Quite rude of you to enter a darkened room, storming behind my partition like so rude and foolhardy. You can hear a faint whispering sound like a slight breeze or the hissing of a serpent. Maud whispers vaguely, "Whoa, creepy shit." My apologies, my lady, I wasn't sure if someone was here. The woman gives a slight, "Huh. But it would seem there is someone in this room, wouldn't it? Shall you be on your way then? Not just yet, though." What? Why do you remain behind the screen? It is your wish that I step away from this partition into some patch of light and speak to you face to face? Marissa laughs, and there is the sound of scales sliding on scales. Nay, I think not. The darkness suits me, and doubtless suits you as well. Why is it so dark in here? To prevent any unwanted and embarrassing casualties. Now what is it that you want? I want you to come into the light. Nay, and the addition of please will not serve to persuade me. Now what do you want? Surely you did not come all this way to see me. I do want to see what you look like. You have no such want. Oh, I do. What do you look like? The darkness hides us both. Let's make it a game. I'm frightfully bored. Let me guess. Are you a human male? Yes. Are you wounded? In the throat? Yes. Describe yourself for me. I'm tall, muscular, and horribly scarred. Indeed. She pauses for a moment. How were you so horribly scarred? Wait, never mind. I do not wish to know. Now describe yourself for me. Marissa describes herself as a shapely, pale-skinned, beautiful woman with a forked tongue, hair made up of writhing asps, and glowing eyes, which you assume she must be keeping shut. Are your feet?
Updated my journal.
Marissa laughs lightly, the sound accompanied by a slight hissing. No, hardly, though I have powers some might call fiendish. My glance turns living things to stone, for instance, from being of flesh to statuary with the bat of an eyelash. Living things to stone? Could you turn, say, a limb into stone?
Updated my journal.
I suppose I could. Had you a limb and were inclined to do so, I might be so inclined. Had I my crimson veil, but I do not know where it has gone. Have you seen it perchance? No, what's it for? Is it just a normal veil? Marissa sighs quietly. Not quiet. It aids me in communication, face-to-face communication, that is. That's why you have to hide your face. Enough of these asinine questions, how tiresomely annoying you are. Now what do you want? What can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Yes, Echo. I knew another Echo once, though her name was written differently. I know nothing of this girl, though. Ask Dolora of her. She made friends of an old lover of Echo's, I have heard. I was told you were seen sneaking away from Vivian's chambers recently. Is it connected with her missing sense somehow?
My journal.
Marissa says nothing, though an angry hissing issue from the darkness around her. Yes, I've been known to creep into Vivian's chamber for some of her perfumes, though I doubt you will meet another here who hasn't. If you're implying that I have got her personal scent, well, feel free to sniff around. You will not find it on me or in my chambers, I assure you. Perhaps whoever took my crimson veil took Vivian's scent as well. Do you know anything about Revel? No, do you? You hear an annoyed sigh from out of the darkness. Go ask Ives, she collects many tales and can probably tell you something of use.
I'm gone.
This alarmingly voluptuous woman has a thick mane of wavy raven-colored hair, bluish skin, and skimmering crimson eyes like rubies with which have fires lit behind them. Though she is not beautiful in a typical sense of the word, her features are exotic and not altogether unattractive. Greetings. The woman's voice is deep and sensuous. And my greetings to you, sir. Her burning eyes roam over you. I'm Kesai Sadis, so tell me, what might I do for you, Anything, Maud cries, do anything you want to me. Kesai laughs heartily, revealing canines long enough to be considered fangs. She shakes her head and smiles at Maud. Truly though, please, what can I do for you? Well, what do you usually do for patrons? Talk, of course, usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature, but not always. Kesai winks at you, smiling. So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy, I've heard anything you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me, and I so love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you would like to, but you must go first. My dreams were recently revised when I saw you, my lady. Were they now? Kesai smiles, her gleaming red eyes looking you over once more. You look very savage, you know. Tell me, are you rough with your lovers? In the act, I mean? Very physically? Do you mean abusive? The many heavens forbid. No, Kesai gives an exasperated sigh. Some people have a very slow and sensuous way of doing things, while others are more forward about it. All rough and tumble and rolling around, you know. I merely wondered where you fell in, is all. I suppose I'm a bit rough then. Kesai not smiling. I thought you would say as much. I'm quite rough myself. I like to be carried around and I particularly enjoy biting. I have sharp teeth though, so I have to take care. Sometimes I get carried away and draw a little blood, you know. It's enough to make me weep. Where was this shit when I had the body? Roaming the Outlands most likely, but that was a rhetorical question, wasn't it? She winks at Maud, then turns to you again. I don't mind. Wait, I don't think I would mind the biting. Kesai laughs. I doubt I would get through that thick hide of yours anyway. Do you have much sensation left in your skin? No, sadly not really. The scars are very thick. Oh, that's a shame. You do have a lot of scars. Kesai looks closely at your face. Even your lips, the lids of your eyes tell me you are scarred everywhere. You know, everywhere? No, not really. Parts of me have somehow managed to stay out of harm's way. That's good then. Kesai laughs cheerfully, then puts on a mock serious look, placing her hands on her hips. You never did tell me about your dreams, you know. Come on, let's have them. I don't have dreams, actually. Kesai arches her eyebrows in surprise. Truly, how sad. Even fiends and divas dreams. You know. Are you certain you don't? Quite certain. No dreams at all. Too peculiar. I'm at loss as to what to say. I did have some questions. If you don't mind my asking, what are you? Kesai shakes her head. What, can't you tell? She draws herself up, thrusting her ample bosom towards you. A woman! Iris, thank you so much for follow. She raises an eyebrow. I can see my answers doesn't please you. I am plain touched actually, like your friend here. Kesai indicates Anna. That's all you need to know. What are you doing here? Entertaining your questions, it seems. She winks at you. Really though, I'm a student of Mistress Grace's. All the prostitutes in a brothel are. A student? That's right, the brothel is actually a school for women who are thinking of becoming sensates. Mistress Grace teaches us the ways of language so that we can better identify with ourselves and those around us. It lets us experience the planes more fully, you know. Tell me about the sensates. The Society of Sensation believes that the multiverse can only be understood by experiencing it. The more you experience, the closer you are to understanding the dark of the multiverse. Intriguing, huh? I think I was born to be one. I just want to know things. Can you tell me about the silent prostitute? Yes, that's Echo. She's very sweet, but so quiet. I understand that she said something once which caused some great tragedy, and because of that, she will never speak again. Kesai shrugs, smiling. An interesting enough story, but I don't know if it's true. Try asking Dolora. I've seen her talking to an ex-lover of Echo back from a time when Echo was speaking. I'm trying to find Vivian's sand. Do you know where to find it? No, I don't. Kesai frowns. Most of the women will say she's prissy, but she's always been nice enough to me, complimenting me on my eyes. And she smelled so good. I hope she finds her own scent again, soon. Try asking Nanny about it. She's everywhere at once and might have seen something. You do have very lovely eyes, you know. Teh. Anna sneers, rolling her eyes. Anna, please, it's only a compliment. Anna stares at you coldly but says nothing. Kesai shrugs and looks back at you. Why, thank you. You can see them glowing in the dark, you know. Bizarre, no? She pauses to look at you. You have some nice eyes too, so dark and mysterious. So full of character. Thanks. I slept for 2 hours early in the morning and started to feel horrible and just woke up. You feel better, Tavi! Tavi, you have to feel better. What the fuck? Don't feel bad. Feel better! Hopefully. Soon. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
No, I haven't seen it since the last time she wore it out. But Nanny might have seen something, so try asking her. I'll admit it's been nice. Marissa won't leave her chamber without the veil, and so we have all been spared her foul tongue, leaving us only Kamaski. Bro, I can't. What the fuck is that name? Kamaski to deal with. Kesai smirks. That Kamaski, the worst of the two, though. How so? Marissa is haughty and mean, but Kamasi, she's a bitter, spiteful monster of a woman with a venomous tongue and the demeanor of a Baylor. I can't see why anyone would like to speak with her. I sincerely doubt her appearance makes up for that flaying, poisonous mouth of hers, but she receives patrons nonetheless. Do you know anything about Ravel? No, okay. Are you sure? You seem suddenly upset. She narrows her red eyes at you. Of course I'm sure. Don't ask me of her again. Okay.
Done.
Done. You made food? Enjoy your food, Tavi! What did you make? The wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered by only a narrow leather thong, a black cloth brazier, and armored shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as a thin fur that covers her goat-like legs. Its brassy white and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brow. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription Kimasi Adder Tongue. Greetings. Kimasi bares her teeth at you. And just what are you looking at? You banged up sod. My friend thought you were attractive, but whoa. Was he ever horribly mistaken? Updating, yeah, I'm updating. I keep updating that journal, don't you worry. Minced meat that had today's date and soybeans and pasta. Oh, that sounds good, though. I hope it's good. She sneers at Maud, then looks below him, where a body would normally be. Sharp tongue for a stemless deader. That's enough, you two. Sure, Chief, whatever. What a witch, huh? Maud hms, then waggles his eyebrows. I like that. I'm sure you do, Maud, but I need to talk to her. The tiefling rolls her eyes. And what makes you think I care? Why don't you lick my backside? My tongue's not wide enough, and I don't like hair on my mouth. Well, you seem to like the taste of offal in your mouth, you dung-breathed cretin. Only because it's like kissing you, you mangy stinkpot. Kiss me? She makes a retching sound. I'd rather kiss a bloody mess of phlegm than lay my lips on you, no thanks. Don't thank me, thank the powers someone actually wants to kiss you. Kamasi looks at a loss for something to say. For an instant a smile threatens to crack the grimacing mask of her face. Then she becomes more of a basilisk than ever. Alright, what do you want of me? Who are you? My name? Uninterested. I can guess yours though. Scarbunch, get out of here before I put a fire under your ass. Say, can you teach Mortiu to be more abusive? She raises her eyebrows. Now that's an unusual request. I don't know, it seems pretty foul-mouthed already. Huh, that's he seems pretty foul-mouthed. Kamasi bladder dung, you scruffy, goat-gammed harlot. You wish you had legs like mine, you pitiful wretch of a bone box. I can walk around, dance. What do you do? Bob around wishing you had a pair of goats? Or otherwise? The two of them lay into another, exchanging barbed, blistering insults and clashing with razor-edged tongues. Wait for it to end. At last the two stop their bickering and eerie silence settles over them as they eye on another hatefully. Finally, the tiefling makes a grudging admission to Maud. You're not bad, really. Not bad at all. Better than you, perhaps? Maud waggles his eyebrows at her. Eh? Kamasi narrows her eyes at Maud. Don't push it, Skull.
It's alright.
I won't, tiefling. I will admit I might have learned a thing or two, though. Good thinking, Chief. Kimasi turns to you, so was it all you wanted? I'm not spending any more time near you than I have to. I have some more questions. I'm trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Try a hive gutter, or perhaps it's just a similar aroma. To be serious though, Marissa stole it. Are you sure? No, but I'm hoping you will go stomping into her room and upset her enough to do something awful to you. I'm trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be? She smirks. Tsk, up your arse, perhaps? Hells, I don't know. Kamasi smooths back her hair, which instantly springs back up into a spiky mess. Do you know about the silent prostitute? What, that echoed shit? Don't know anything about her. Don't talk to the girl. I mean, why? Not like she can talk back. Asked Frigid Dolora about her. I think I saw her playing Go with an old crush of Echo's back from when she could talk. How about Revel? What would I know about her? Do I look like a scholar or something to you? Go ask someone more learned, or she will probably have at least one story about her and that pile of tales she carries around in her bone box. Oh, and squat on a halberd while you're at it. Alright.
All right.
Okay, I think we went through every single room. Dude, I am so exhausted from reading. I need to take a break. Holy shit, we're in this brothel for like over an hour already, I think. Just reading the dialogue. My fucking god. You would hang out in a brothel for hours. It's a brothel for intellectual, okay? It's for the smart people. That's why I'm here. That was a good XP still. Boy, we made it to level 6. I think we were level 4 today. Oh yeah, next time we will see that what does our journal say? Oh my god. Yeah, we will do more tomorrow. Definitely.